Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election that was held on February 25, 2023, and the result controversially announced on March 1st, 2023. And that controversial result was challenged at Presidential Election Petition Court, where the key petitioners, not satisfied with the verdict, headed straight to the Supreme Court. Right now, the Supreme Court, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who is one of the two major contenders, one of the two major petitioners, had gone to the United States to get proof for his allegation that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted fake Chicago State University certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission, and is therefore praying for the invocation of Section 1371J of the 1999 Constitution, which calls for disqualification of anyone who is convicted of this act. Now, as a result of the trove of information that Atiku Abubakar had gotten from Chicago State University, there is a pushback right now by Tinubu supporters and from the presidency, trying to belittle whatever that Atiku discovered in Chicago State University. But the big question is, why should the presidency call a voyage that caused it severe and irreparable harm a waste? Why should the presidency call a voyage that caused it severe and irreparable harm a waste of time? Is that really a waste of time? That is what we want to unveil in this video. Now, first of all, let us examine the dictionary meaning of severe. Now, Oxford Dictionary describes severe as something bad or undesirable, very great, intense. It is similar to something that is acute, very bad, serious. That is what Tinubu and his lawyer said this document that Atiku brought will cost them if it is given to him, and it has been given to him. It is therefore safe for us to assume that those documents are causing them severe and irreparable harm. Then why are they denying it? Now, in the case of irreparable harm, now irreparable harm is a legal term that refers to harm or injury that cannot be adequately compensated or remedied by any monetary reward or damages that may be awarded later. Now, if that is how Tinubu feels, then he should sue Atiku Abubakar for causing him severe and irreparable harm. I think that is the first thing that they should do now to show really that Atiku Abubakar crossed the line. He should be sued for causing him severe and irreparable harm, so that Atiku will be forced to pay compensation to him. However, Oxford Dictionary defined irreparable as an injury or loss impossible to rectify or repair. Impossible to rectify or repair. Now, from my observation, the release of Tinubu's academic records has indeed caused severe and irreparable harm to Tinubu and his presidency. Now, if this is so, because don't forget that the adjective they use in describing what will happen if Atiku had access to this document, is that it will cause them severe and irreparable harm. It therefore means now that these documents are with Atiku Abubakar, really they are suffering from severe and irreparable harm in the presidency. So why are they downplaying what they foretold? They foretold this will happen. Then why are they denying it now? Since they already know that this is what will happen to them if Atiku get this, why are they in denial? Now, one of those who have taken this denial to a new height is the senior special assistant to the president on media, Tunde Rahman. In a tweet tirade against Atiku Abubakar, he claimed that Atiku wasted his time, which now begs the question: if Tinubu had nothing to hide, why did he do everything legally possible to stop Atiku from making the discovery? Now let us look at some of the claims that was made by Tunde Rahman to justify that Atiku failed in his discovery. Writing on Atiku's World Press Conference. You know, Atiku had a World Press Conference on Thursday. Was it Thursday or Friday? On Thursday, yeah. World Press Conference on Thursday. Tunde Rahman wrote, because in that press conference, Atiku showered praises on the investigative journalist David Hunde, who was, especially for those who are interested in Nigerian politics, who was the first person in recent time to do investigative reporting on this certificate issue about the president from Chicago State University. So Atiku was praised this young man for his works because he really facilitated the process. And then he praised Gani Fawmi that this has brought to closure the struggle he started in the 90s. So this is what Tunde Rahman wrote. He said, commending David Hundiyin, the rabble-rouser, who styles himself as an independent journalist, whose work, he also said, inspired him, it became apparent that both Atiku and Hundiyin were actually working together to embarrass President Tinubu. Did Atiku and Hundiyin embarrass Tinubu, or the content of it that should embarrass the president? Because obviously, you can't say that he embarrassed the president or that they embarrassed the president. If there's any embarrassment, it is the content, of course, which appears to be the reason why they never wanted it to be out in the first place. In any case, was the president really embarrassed? In other climes, when a president is embarrassed to this level, he resigns. But since Tinubu has not yet resigned, it shows that Tinubu was not embarrassed. Because even Ami's call for him to resign, he is doubling down with his supporters like Tunde Rahman. He is doubling down. So it doesn't show that he's embarrassed at all. Now, Rahman continued that on the insinuation by Atiku's lawyers that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu who attended the school was a female on account of a clerical error spotted against Tinubu's name. Westby, he is now talking about the registrar of the university, disclosed that the admission letter issued to the Nigerian president evidently proved he was a male and attended the school between 1977 and 1979. Now, if Tinubu was so sure that it was male that he had in his documents and in his transcript, why then did he plead with Judge Nancy Maldonado that even if his academic records are to be made available to Atiku Abubakar, that they should blank the part that has to do with the gender? So which gender was he now trying to dodge or trying to hide from Atiku and the general public? So sometimes the action they took before the deposition had already betrayed whatever defense they are now giving. Because you remember vividly, if you're following this matter, that in seeking a stoppage to the release of his academic records to Atiku Abubakar, when he considered that, okay, when he found out that Nancy Maldonado, the judge, is not ready to stop the release of his academic record, he made a second plea. It's everywhere in the media, where he said, okay, if you want to give it, you can give Atiku the certificate, but don't give him the other documents, my academic record, the other ones. And when you are giving him, make sure you don't give him something that will indicate the gender of the owner of the certificate. It's there. It is there. Maybe I will stick it on this wall. That newspaper, I will find a place and see when I'm editing this video, I will find a place and put it so that you people will see where he said, don't expose the gender. So if you are saying don't expose the gender, it means there is something you are hiding about the gender. Now, why do you turn around now to claim that because this registrar said so, it's no longer an issue? Because if you are so sure in the first place, you wouldn't have pleaded that gender should not be included in the information that should be released to Atiku Abubakar. Okay? So it's an issue that they should go and chew it, digest it, and perhaps they will come up with a better defense. Now, in any case, Atiku Abubakar's lawyer claimed that the owner of the Southwest College resort, with which Tinubu got admission, was a female, a black American woman. Like I said earlier, even a supporter of Tinubu, like Professor Farouk Berogi, a Nigerian professor based in the United States, has also confirmed that the certificate that Tinubu submitted to INEC is fake. And that was the essence of Atiku Abubakar going to the United States. Any other thing people are talking about is just dancing around the whole issue. The main essence of Atiku going was to get proof that the certificate is fake. It is the most important of all the things he went to America to seek for. And not about the sex of in the certificate, the sex of the admission letter and all those. Those are, to me, are almost immaterial. The most important thing for him is to get the proof that the certificate in INEC did not come from Chicago State University. Okay? So it's therefore not fair for them to claim that Atiku achieved nothing, that the certificate what he got from America is a waste. And also, Atiku's lawyer are also banking on the deposition of the university registrar that they don't know where Tinubu got the certificate he submitted to INEC, which is just in line with what I just said. It is that is the smoking gun that Atiku was looking for. It didn't come from them. That is smoking gun Atiku was looking for. So when Atiku was able to get the smoking gun, why are you now saying that he didn't achieve anything? It means you are not telling yourself the truth, or you are just misleading the people. And now continuing in that is Twitter tirade. He said, in the final analysis, it is yet unclear how Atiku plans to benefit from whatever he claims to have brought back from the United States. Continuing, he said, certificate forgery was not pleaded in his election petition. Now at the Supreme Court, it was not pleaded in his election petition, now at the Supreme Court. Without being a lawyer, this is a civil case, and I understand you can't make new pleas or present new evidence in a case that has passed the court of first instance and is at present on appeal at the Supreme Court. Now, this technicality is what he is banking on now. He said, look, from his understanding, that's Tunde Rahman, the special assistant to the president of media, this matter is a civil matter, and the evidence was not pleaded. The article didn't plead on this forgery matter in the first instance and all that. Maybe he didn't read what article presented in the first this certificate forgery was there. It was there. That was the first place Atiku Abubakar presented the certificate from Enahoreba. And because Enahoreba does not have the locus on that matter, Atiku has to go on this voyage on his own to go and get the certificate by himself. Atiku presented it at the Presidential Election Petition Court. He used the one that Enahoreba got from Chicago State University. And you can see how they treated it, most of the evidence that was brought to that particular court from Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi. They just dismiss most of those witnesses and evidence. So maybe Tunde Rahman is not aware of that. Atiku is not pleading it anything. He presented that one, but the only thing they can claim now is that this new one that he has brought. But already I have been made to understand that when you have a new case, a new evidence, which was difficult for you to have been able to get in the first instance, the Supreme Court makes allowance for you to present it. Because given the tight schedule of the time of Atiku Abubakar, he wouldn't have been able to go to America to get all these documents. Even right now, when he went to America to go and get it, you can see how Tinubu and his lawyers put a lot of roadblock on his way to ensure that he delayed and wasted a lot of time over there, so that he barely struggled, if not for the standing of Judge Nancy Maldonado, insisting that they must release these documents because Atiku need to file his matter by October 5 latest. Perhaps the Tinubu legate would have done something to still stop him from getting it so that October 5 will come and go. Are you getting it? So that's basically the fact. Atiku presented this matter at the Presidential Electoral Petition Court, but it wasn't well treated there. So Atiku now went to Chicago to bring evidence, now his own, under his own subpoena, unlike the time he used evidence from the subpoena of Mike Enahoreba. So Tunde Rahman got it wrong there. Now continue, Tunde Rahman say, what the Waziri Adamawa has demonstrated in all of his shenanigans is that he is a sore loser. What does he mean by a sore loser? That he went to every length that he could to prove his case. That is not a sign of a sore loser. He has not called for Armageddon. He has not called for any violent demonstration against the government of the day. He only followed the due process to go and get evidence. How does that make one a sore loser? Somebody like Muhammad Buhari, former president, who was one of their past candidates, Buhari is on record to have gone to Supreme Court to challenge every election result that he ever participated. Buhari went to court, all the way to Supreme Court in 2003. He went to the court all the way to the Supreme Court in 2007. In 2011, he went to court all the way to the Supreme Court. It was after that he said he would no longer contest the election again in Nigeria, where he infamously shed tears. At that time, Tunde Rahman and co, they were hailing him. Why didn't they call him a sore loser for pursuing his matter to the Supreme Court all the time that Buhari contested the election? Continuing, he said, continue about Atiku, he said, will he get what he failed to get at the ballot through his present indecent and unpatriotic overseas? What is unpatriotic? What is unpatriotic about going to seek redress in an election that Atiku felt strongly that the winner that was announced entered with alleged forged certificate? What is patriotic about it? That he shouldn't go to search for it? He said, will he gain what he failed to get at the ballot through his present indecent and unpatriotic overseas search and unfounded and hollow discovery, making a mountain where there is no molehill, unnecessarily heating up the polity? How is that heating up the polity? That the man went to America to get evidence. How does that heat up the polity? And then he went on to say, and denigrating the justices of the Supreme Court. To me, that's a blackmail. Atiku has never, throughout the time this process has lasted, I have never seen where Atiku talk about the Supreme Court justices. I don't know where Tunde Rahman, the spokesman of the president, got this from. He said that Atiku was denigrated. So he wanted to blackmail Atiku Abubakar in the eyes of the Supreme Court justices that he was hitting up the polity, which I don't think Atiku was hitting up any polity, and then that he was denigrating the justices of the Supreme Court. How? It is not true. But I will close this video by the words of Dele Momodu. Dele Momodu is a columnist with this day newspaper. He was the Director General Communication to the Atiku Abubakar presidential campaign. In an article he wrote in his latest column, which he titled "The Truth Tinubu must be told. Now, what he wrote here is also a perfect response to Tunde Rahman, the spokesperson of the president. Now, this is what he said. Dele Momodu wrote, "Let me now go to the specific handling of the Chicago scandals. For me, Tinubu and his noisy supporters have made matters worse than it should have been. Only his blind and shameless supporters will continue to argue over a saga that started over 5 decades ago. All of us who knew the truth and looked the other way brought this calamity upon our country. And it is grossly unfair. Instead of Tinubu standing up as a man to offer sincere and unreserved apologies to Nigerians, his brood of vipers are busy insulting the long-suffering people of Nigeria and studiously rubbing salt and pepper on our festering wounds. This is most unfair. This can only aggravate the anger of our citizens, especially the youths." That's Dele Momodu. This is just an excerpt from his column, which I think is a perfect response to Tunde Rahman and other spokespersons of the president who are making a defense where there should be none. And I also put it this way, that if Tinubu eventually wins at the Supreme Court, if he wins, if the Supreme Court allow him to get away with this, you can say that he has won the battle, but he had long lost the war. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.